On smells, it's usually thought that human beings have 5 ways of experiencing the world. And since, as David Hume pointed out so strongly, all that we know comes through our senses, through experience. There's nothing inside us intrinsically to tell us anything about the world. And so we go around as human machines picking up information, which we then process, remember some things, store things away, connect things in our brains. But those things come from the outside. And there are the 5 famous senses, smell, touch, sight, sound, and no doubt something else. Most people think that the most important for human beings, unlike some animals, but human beings above all depend on their sight. There are rough estimates that something like 70% of what we know about the world comes in through our eyes. And then if I had an order of importance in my life, I think sound would probably come. Oh, taste was the other one. I think sound. If I was deaf and blind, then I wouldn't have much left in my life. But the other 3 senses, feeling, taste, or touch and taste, and smell, are very important. And smell is one that is often underplayed, because the way smell works, like our other senses, but more so, is rather invisible. We go around sniffing and smelling. We have really good eyes as animals compared to many animals, but our noses compared to many animals, hunting animals, particularly dogs and even elephants and others, our smell is not very developed. But it's good enough to pick up all sorts of scents around us, which go straight into our brain and give us messages, but we don't actually normally realize that we are being affected by them. There was a story the other day of someone who is a super smeller, and she had discovered that with her husband, and then later it was applied more widely, a certain smell of her husband, a sort of musty smell, had given her the idea that he was ill. Some 20 years or so before he developed Parkinson's disease, and they did tests and found that she could detect Parkinson's disease through smell. Now, that's been known for dogs who go around sniffing, and it's also used in criminal investigations. The smell of fear and sweating and so on is used as a kind of lie test in certain contexts. But most of it is invisible to us. We know it in one of the most intimate of areas, which is that if we are seeking a partner, one of the things that determines our choice of partner in a free choice system anyway is that their smell is agreeable, and we don't actually notice it. That is the best kind of smell. I don't ever even think about my wife, and the obvious fact that occurs to me now is that she smells lovely, and I like the smell of her, and when I wake up and sniff her body, it's a pleasure, but I don't think about that. What I do think about are the extreme smells, and that takes me to the way we can see what a powerful influence they actually have, which is the way they trigger memories. Many of us have experienced moments when we suddenly smell something, a frying onion or a wood smoke, or a particular flower or a particular scent. And suddenly it brings back very vivid memories. In my case, the smell of certain curries bring back childhood memories, or at least memories of my time in Nepal and India. Likewise, wood smoke takes me back to a Himalayan village. And so smells are great triggers and connect past and present. And they are something which we underrate in our lives. And every morning when I go out in the summer, I go past a favourite rose of my grandmother, Just Joey, pink rose, which seems to go on flowering and flowering. And when it comes out, it is a wonderful smell. And when I pass it, I sniff it with pleasure and start the day with a happy memory of my grandmother, to whom this little talk is dedicated.